Thank you for joining me back here on the last segment of today's show to talk about the preseason here a little bit. We are in mandatory minicamp. We could start looking a little bit forward to the NFL preseason. At the start of the preseason, the NFL released their entire preseason schedule last Friday to start it. So, with that announcement being now out there to the public, we can talk about how the first preseason game officially will be on August the 1st on a Thursday. This will be the Hall of Fame game between the Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans on ESPN and ABC, too short to kick off the preseason games. Week 1 doesn't officially start until that following Thursday on August the 8th, and then you're going to have a cycle of games going through every Thursday through Sunday up until August 25th, which is another Sunday in that month. And a very short period of preseason, really giving it about 2 weeks before the official start of the regular season for the NFL. But there are still some intriguing games that do catch my eye here that I wanted to talk about a little bit with you guys here today. A lot of games on national TV that are pretty exciting before I mention my games that I'm really interested in. The New Orleans Saints will be playing at the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday, August the 18th on Fox at 8 p.m. That'll be an interesting one with how the 49ers look. Will Brandon Ayuk still be in this cycle of I want a new contract with the 49ers not giving it to him? Maybe they'll raise that $25 million per year mark that they're currently stuck at. But that'll be interesting, certainly, for how the 49ers maybe are moving on at that point of the regular season. So that's one game. Then you have the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Cincinnati to play against them again on a Thursday on August 22nd on Amazon Prime at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Indianapolis and Cincinnati, you'd want to get Joe Burrow out there a little bit more warmed up for the start of the regular season. Hopefully we get to see a few drives of Joe Burrow out there. Anthony Richardson, how is he looking with his shoulder rehab from the injury he sustained last year? This new Colts offense, A.D. Mitchell, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, Jonathan Taylor also back there as well. How all of them look at this point of the preseason schedule. That'll be exciting to watch and keep an eye out for. That'll be on national television for everyone to enjoy. Then you have the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Denver on Sunday, August the 25th at 4:30 p.m. on CBS. Another intriguing one just because the Broncos, by this time on August 25th, you'd like to have an idea of who their starting quarterback will be. I think that'll be pretty telling on who starts that game, who comes in after that, and how that whole dynamic works with them gearing up for the season. And also for the Cardinals, Marvin Harrison, how much does he play of the preseason and how much does Kyler play? Can we see some few exciting plays out of that new dynamic duo? I think that'll be very exciting to watch. And then on that same Sunday, later in the day, August 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC, you have the New England Patriots traveling to Washington and playing the Commanders. That is actually one of the games that drew my interest, that made the list for me. The New England Patriots, you have the second overall pick and the third overall pick playing against each other potentially in that preseason game. Depending on who wins that starting job, most likely it will be Jacoby Brissett, but you'll have some gameplay of Drake May out there towards the tail end of the preseason, so you'd hopefully see some growth there, some improvement over the first couple of weeks of preseason. Then for Jaden Daniels, he will be in a very developed process by now, hopefully learning this offense, and hopefully it looks a little bit smoother by this point and seeing how he clicks with the offense, how he's running it, and just how smooth that transition is from getting the play, getting it out there to the guys, and it just executing it at a high level. This is what the preseason's for. This is what the greatest benefits are for a young quarterback who you're putting a lot on their plate, in all honesty, to go out there and practice it. It's going to be very exciting to watch. Hopefully they get to see each other or just play against each other in a few drives there before they eventually get pulled out like it is typical to do. But that is the first game that drew my interest. The second one is the Seattle Seahawks at the Los Angeles Chargers on Saturday, August 10th. Jim Harbaugh, really his first opportunity in live gameplay action in the preseason to see what this new identity looks like for the Los Angeles Chargers. You want to get, hopefully, you probably won't see Justin Herbert out there, in all honesty. for the first game, but just an idea, a positive feeling you can take away from that. Even if you win or lose, I don't think that really matters here in the preseason. I think Jim Harbaugh's just hoping to see things get executed right, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but if they're following the game plan and doing everything right, not too many penalties or confusions out there, it's going to be exciting to see how this Chargers offense now looks, and also for the Seattle Seahawks, where they are with their new head coach, Geno Smith, still there as their quarterback. Probably going to be their quarterback for this year, but there were some earlier reports that had some doubts around that whole situation. It'll be good competition here for the Chargers and the Seahawks in this game. Then you look at a further game, the Los Angeles Rams, again against the Los Angeles Chargers, that following Saturday on August the 17th. The Rams, this time to start with them, they're very young and exciting defense. Obviously, Aaron Donald moves on and retires this year. You'd want to see how far along this defense is to not really replacing him, because there's really no replacing Aaron Donald, but with guys in there like Jared Verse, who you drafted in the first round, Braden Fisk as well in the second round. Both of those guys going to Florida State University and now getting the chance to play at the highest level together on that defensive line, I think is great. Going along with Kobe Turner and Bryce Young. It's going to be very young and exciting defense to watch, and hopefully they're out there by this time to get in as many reps as possible. And again, the Los Angeles Chargers, seeing now Joe Alt out there, and maybe you get a one-on-one battle there against Jared Verse, which will be very exciting, even for a few reps, just seeing how Joe Alt goes up against Jared Verse or Braden Fisk or anybody at this level will be something to take note on, how successful he is, how he learns from it. That'll be a crucial piece to this puzzle that the Los Angeles Chargers want to work out for. And then the last game on my schedule here, a little bit to pick out, and the games I'm really looking forward to are the Detroit Lions at the New York Giants there on Thursday, August the 8th. Really, I'm looking forward to watching Terrion Arnold go up against Malik Neighbors. Hopefully, they're both playing at this game. It is the first official week of the preseason, so we might not see too much of them, if any at all, but I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully, both of them are out there trying to get their feet wet as possible before the start of the regular season. Terrion Arnold, my best cornerback in the entire draft, and Malik Neighbors up there for a lot of people as the best wide receiver in the draft. If we could see a play or two of them going up against each other, I think will be must-see TV. Again, still in the preseason, but that'll be a very exciting matchup that we could see for years to come when it is obviously in the regular season. Both of them in the same conference as well, so that's even more exciting. But how Daniel Jones looks as well, how this Detroit Lions defense also looks, and their offense going into this new year with all these expectations on their shoulders now will be something to certainly watch, but I'm really looking forward to that matchup between the both of them. Some other interesting notes from the schedule: no J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix on the national TV schedule, where I feel like all the other top 5, top 10 picks got a lot of national attention, or at least got a game or two in there. We won't see any J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix on that schedule, and also some late primetime games. Hopefully we could see some more starters out there, potentially just to see a little bit more competition at a higher level of football out there. But who is still holding out by this time is also something else to mention. I mentioned it a little bit before with Brandon Ayuk as one of the games on national television. By the time the preseason rolls out of here and you're on to August 27th, 28th, and really just towards the tail end of August, who is still in these holdout positions, who is still trying to vie for a contract extension, who is in a good spot with their organization, who is in a worse spot, and how these organizations could really just change through trades and things like that will be something else to watch out for through the preseason. If you get a better understanding of it, maybe you think, hey, maybe I could trade this guy, and maybe we are better at this position than I originally thought, so we can maybe ship this guy out and gain something from it rather than losing him in free agency next year. But though that is the preseason schedule, that is some of the things I'm looking more towards to as that inches closer and closer. With that and getting all that stuff out of the way, that does conclude this episode of the GSMC Chip Shot Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I want to thank you guys all for tuning into this episode, and please remember to like, follow, and subscribe to the show. Make sure to also follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok for more of this network's content. If you want to see more of me and this show, check out the GSMC Sports Network channel and the GSMC Podcast Network channel on YouTube for a lot more content out there around the NFL and just football in general. As a final reminder, tune in every weekday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time for more football conversations and NFL discussions with me, Manny Maradiaga, as your host. Thank you guys again for joining me, and I'll see you guys all back here again tomorrow. Take care, guys.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to